Good morning, everybody. It's like Wim Hof once said, "The cold is my teacher." That's not a dig at Wim Hof. Wim Hof seems like a good human with great energy and a great zest for life. But he does talk in a funny way. Speaking of talking in a funny way, I went for a walk last night. I went to the beach. I always go to the beach in the morning and at night. Why? That's when sharks feed. Last night was a bit different though because I didn't drive there. I've been driving everywhere. Actually, I've been speeding everywhere. I decided I'm going to take an Uber there and I'm simply going to meander, walk back, and then catch an Uber when I want to come home. And it had been a while since I'd been on a walk in the city. And you get something so much different when you walk through a city or when you ride a bicycle through a city than when you drive a car through a city. It just reminded me how important it is to go for a walk, because walking is motion. Just like driving a car, walking can clear your head, and you get a different style of clarity from walking that you don't get from driving. So walking is very important. And during my walk last night, I shot out a photo to Instagram and I said, I'm about to hit another podcast. Send in your questions. And then immediately I started getting great questions. And it was along the walk that I thought to myself, am I just getting great questions simply because the content is becoming so stellar? Or have I always received great questions, but I would just never allow the thought that they were great questions because I wasn't in the right mental space to allow them to be great questions. Before, I was not in the happiness mindset. All right, I was in the anger mindset. So whenever I got a question that seemed repetitive, like what's your favorite city, I would think that's a stupid question. I don't feel like answering that. That's stupid. You're a stupid person for answering that question. But that was the first question I got last night while I was walking on the beach. And I thought, dang, that's a great question because it really made me think. What is my favorite city? I like dual cities. I don't want to live anywhere full time throughout the year. My vision is to live in one place for 6 months and then live in another place for 6 months. So I had to start thinking, where would those two places be? Those two places would have to be my favorite cities. So those two places would have to be Los Angeles, California, and Bangkok, Thailand. By default, they would have to be my favorite cities because that's where I would choose to live. That's where I have chosen to live now for many years. And I'm not talking about Los Angeles proper. I don't want to live in Los Angeles, the city. I don't want to live in Hollywood. I want to live on the beach. So I can go to the beach every morning and every night because that's when sharks feed. So favorite city would be somewhere on the beach outside of Los Angeles, like Marina del Rey, Playa Vista, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, Redondo Beach, even down to Orange County, just somewhere on the beach, because the beach just smells so good and it feels so good to get out on the beach, especially when you can go to the beach and nobody's there, especially when it's a little bit cold. When it's a little bit cold and you jump in the ocean, you realize what Wim Hof is talking about when he says, the cold is my teacher. You just feel so good after jumping in a cold ocean. You feel so alive. And that's one reason I go to the beach every morning and every night. That's when sharks feed. And you get a clarity that you don't get staying put. So to answer your question, one of my favorite cities, Los Angeles, California, Bangkok, Thailand. The next question I got was from a great artist named Vincent Nappy. Everybody follow Vincent on Instagram because he's going to be working on a book with me. A great book because he's a great artist. How has your vision evolved since you first conceived of B&D? You know, it's funny. My vision has come full circle, and I feel the same excitement I felt when I first started. I feel that same fire, but times 10. I have everything that inspired me to start B&D is the same thing that inspires me now. But now I have a couple things I didn't have then. I have knowledge. I have the ability to execute. I have the power. I have the manpower. I have I have this fire in me now that I didn't really have before. It's like when you have to go pee really bad and you're holding it in and you're holding it in and you're holding it in for so long, and then you finally go pee and it feels so good. In that moment, peeing is your favorite thing to do. It's just the best thing you've ever done. And that's the same thing with me. There's fire burning in me for so many years and I wasn't able to get it all out. And it was burning me alive. And now my favorite thing to do is just to let the fire out. You see, I did great work with Bold and Determined, but I didn't do enough. I was never able to do enough. I was never able to mentally do enough. I'm not lying when I said I did Bold and Determined as a stupid person. I did Bold and Determined as a stupid person. I was a stupid person mentally. Specifically because I wasn't breathing. I was not getting enough oxygen into my brain. I was also probably not eating enough and not drinking enough. And I was living in a dirty air city. I was handicapped by stupidity for a good number of years. So that's probably the big thing that has changed. Not the vision for Bold and Determined has always been to create the content for the people who need the content, and they will come and find it. I'm not searching for them. They're searching for me. I've known that from the very beginning. I'm going to put the content out there, and the people who need it are going to find me through destiny. So what I'm doing now, I don't expect a huge audience to get it now, but in the future they will. In the future they will. They will find it at their time when they need it. People have revelations on their terms, not on my terms, on their terms. My job is to simply put the content out there that plants the seed in their mind, and then when they're ready for the revelation, they'll have it. So how has my vision changed? I'm still into Rambo. I'm still into Samurai. I'm still into Ronin. I'm still into Spartan stuff. All that stuff is the same. The message is still the same. What has changed is my ability to put out more content, my ability to speak the words properly, my ability to speak through the words. I'm not stupid anymore. That's what's changed. That's the big change. That's how I've evolved. I'm not stupid anymore. I was a very stupid person. And I'm not lying. That's very true. I was a stupid person. I did Bold and Determined as a stupid person. And Bold and Determined is the best work that is the best written work that has ever existed, in my opinion. And I did that as a stupid person. I did that as a person with low IQ, with low inability to think, low inability to produce. So doing that kind of work, that kind of great work, when I was handicapped, what kind of work can I do now that I'm not handicapped? I can do a lot more, and I can help a lot more people, and I can bring more Ronin in to join the army, and we can all work together towards building a bigger goal. You see, when I first started B&D, I wanted to be alone. I wanted to work alone. I wanted to be alone. I was tired of working jobs with people, wanted to go do my own thing, all right? I did my own thing for a great number of years. I don't want to work alone anymore. I don't want to be alone anymore. I want a team. I want an army. I want people who have the same vision as me. I want people who have the same fire as me. I want creative people, and I want people who do the black and white work. I want all the people who want to build something bigger so we can all work together and build something bigger. We can find all the people in the world and we can show them the way that they can help themselves, because that's the big thing that is missing from the life of somebody whose intuition is telling them that something is missing, but they don't know what. We can tell them what. We can tell them what. We can create the great art that when we strip away the art, when we strip away everything, the essence that is left is you can be the best version of yourself. You can do it. And it's not hard. You can change in the snap of a finger. So how has my vision for Bold and Determined changed? My execution has changed. That's the main thing. My execution has changed. For a good number of years, I was obsessed with editing, which is why Bold and Determined is so good, because I spent countless hours editing. I spent more hours editing my articles on B&D than I did writing them. I would guess for every 1 hour of writing, I spent 20 hours editing. And that's what editing is what turns a piece into a masterpiece. Now, I'm not doing any editing right now. I'm simply speaking the information, and I'm putting it on film, I'm putting it on audio, and I'm letting you have it. Later, we're going to distill this information into that same style of content that really transcends. But right now, I'm on fire, and I have to get this content out. I've had to pee for so long, I can't hold it anymore. I've got to get this content out, otherwise it's going to burn me up. I don't like to be burning. So, I'm putting the fire out every single day. Thank you for the great question, Vincent. What is a song that always pumps you up? There are a lot of great songs that always pump me up. There's a lot. If you follow me on Twitter, I often post the gym songs that I'm listening to. And then in the gym, of course, I only listen to songs that pump me up. So follow me on Twitter at Victor_Pride. And I'll make it a bigger point to tweet out the song that I'm listening to at the gym. But I'll give you a couple. A heavy metal song that always pumps me up would be Soulfly, Jump the Fuck Up. Another one would be Hatebreed, I Will Be Heard. A rap song that always pumps me up would be El Chapo by The Game and Skrillex. Next question. I have a special product that I want to become an affiliate for. What are the best technical guides to promote it? Facebook, AdWords. The best technical guide is your own mind. If you want to promote something, you should be an expert on it. That's the way you promote something the best. You become an actual expert. That's why my friend Chris from Good Looking Loser is such an incredible kratom salesman, because he's an expert. That's how you make the most money. You know about what you're talking about. The best salesmen don't study sales books. They study the product. They become experts in the product. They know everything about the product. They become users of the product. That's what the best salesmen are. Fans of the product in the first place. So forget about technical tools. Learn the product inside and out. Know the product inside and out. That's the best thing you can do as an affiliate to make money as an affiliate, because people can smell phoniness right away. You can smell it when somebody's lying to you. You can smell the phoniness when a used car salesman is talking to you about a car, and you can smell the authenticity when somebody who is truly interested in a car is speaking to you about the car. You can just smell it right away. So be somebody that smells good. Be the expert. Big fan since 2013. No questions this time, but I'm looking forward to the next episode. Da-da-da-da-da. So just chill till the next episode. Next question. If you lost everything, money, body, status, what would be the first step you would take to rebuild? That's easy. The first step. I would put one foot in front of the other. That would be the first step. Then I would put my other foot in front of that foot, and that would be the second step. That's literally the way you rebuild. You simply start walking forward again. If you're running a race and you fall down, what's the first step you take towards getting up? The first one. You simply put one foot up and you stand up, and then you put the other foot in front of the other and you keep moving forward. Always move forward. What was one of your most defining moments in life and why? That would be the writing of New World Ronin. That's very obvious to anybody who follows Bold and Determined, that there has been a very obvious change since the writing of Bold and Determined. Now, this has been planned, and the plan came to fruition. I planned to change after New World Ronin. I planned to put myself in the position that I must change, and I did. But holy moly, it worked really well. New World Ronin lit such a fire under me for life, such a fire and a drive, that it's the biggest change of my life without any question. With no question, you can see the obvious proof. You can see the obvious proof. You can see how driven I am to get this content out. You can see how burning I am to get this content out. New World Ronin was the change. New World Ronin was the catalyst. That's why it's such a powerful book. That's why I know that anybody who reads the book and puts it into action, puts it into motion, is going to be a different person. It is the most powerful book of change that has ever been written, in my opinion. And I'm living proof. You can see my content before, and you can see my content after. You could see my attitude before, you could see my attitude after. That's very obvious. When I was writing New World Ronin, I was writing it, I felt like I just wanted to go die in the mountains. You see, I wasn't moving. I had to stop moving so I could get all the information down. Now, you see my podcast, I have too much information. You can see in my podcast, I have too much information. My podcasts are packed to the brim with information. The hard part about New World Ronin was getting all the information in, but not making it too packed with information. And that required me to work 18 hours a day. And by working 18 hours a day, plus all the time I spent before then doing the black and white work, sitting down, not moving, my body felt so bad. I felt like I didn't think I was going to live very long. I thought the thought of living to 70 years old was like a pipe dream. I thought, I'm not going to live to 70. That's crazy. I'm 34 right now. I didn't think I was going to live to 37. I literally thought the pain in my back was so bad. I thought I was just going to, I thought I could feel my back degenerating by the minute. I could feel the pain increase by the minute. I could just feel myself growing deformed by the minute. And then I wrote New World Ronin, and I thought, I cannot live like that anymore. I'm either going to go die in the mountains or I'm going to live. And I chose to live. And I chose to put myself in motion every day. That's what I do. I am in motion every day, whether it's driving a car, walking somewhere, riding a bike, doesn't matter. I go get in motion every single day. Why? Because I know what it feels like when you're not in motion. You feel like you're living life in black and white. You feel like a ghost of a person. You feel like you want to die. So, what's the answer? Put yourself in emotion. The literal answer to not feeling like that anymore. Put yourself in emotion. What are your views on being heavily tattooed? Are there other ways to be edgy? It depends on your skin tone. If you want to be heavily tattooed and look good. For example, black guys can look good heavily tattooed. Guys with dark brown skin can look good heavily tattooed. People with white skin cannot look good heavily tattooed. You just can't. You're never going to look good with white skin and being heavily tattooed. You're never going to look good with white skin and a tattoo. It's simply not going to happen. The only people who look good with tattoos are black people or brown people. White people don't look good with tattoos. So my thoughts on being heavily tattooed: for a white person, no, you should not be heavily tattooed. It's going to look terrible when you get older. Have you ever seen an old person with good-looking tattoos? No, you haven't. If you tell me you have, I'm going to show you a figment of your imagination. No old person looks good with old tattoos. The only way they might possibly look good is if they're brand new tattoos. Tattoos fade. They start to look like shit. All right. So you're stuck with these tattoos that don't look good. Now, if you have darker skin, it can hide it, and it's not as big of a deal because you can't see it as well. That's why tattoos work so well on black people and dark brown people, and don't work so well on white people. The contrast of a tattoo on white skin is so great that when the tattoo starts to fade, when it starts to look like shit, it looks so bad. So for white people, don't get tattoos. For black people, for brown people, if you want to be heavily tattooed, I would say no, don't do it, because the tattoos are going to fade. They're going to look like shit. You're going to be stuck with them forever. And if you want to go through tattoo removal, it's a long process and it hurts. It doesn't feel good. But no, I wouldn't say get heavily tattooed, just because it would be like wearing the same shirt every day for the rest of your life, but the shirt keeps fading. What are other ways to be edgy? Be edgy with your art. Be edgy with your mind. Be edgy with your words. You don't necessarily need to be edgy with your body by being tattooed. There are many other ways to be edgy. How do you find balance building the mind, body, and business? How do you avoid focusing too much on one and neglecting the rest? The premise of your question is wrong. How do you avoid focusing too much on one and neglecting the rest? That's exactly how you build all three. You focus on one and you neglect the rest. That's exactly how you do it. That's exactly the way you do it. If you want to build a business, all right, building your mind, building your body takes a back seat. It does. If you want to build your body, your focus must be on building your body. All right? So, building the business, building the mind, they take a back seat. But building the body, let's say you got an hour gym time every day. All right? You got an hour of cooking time every day. You got another 2 hours of eating time. All right? You got another hour of study times. You got to study how to build your body. You got to study exercise. You got to study nutrition plans. Let's say you spend 5 hours a day on building your body. That leaves 19 hours a day that you have time to work on your business, work on your mind. So there is enough time in every single day to build all three, no matter what you're doing. You simply put more of your energy into one. You put the main bulk of your focus into one. If you want to build your business, all right, most of your focus is going to be on building your business. But you can wake up and you can study for 30 minutes. Then you can go to the gym for 30 minutes to an hour. Come home, take a shower, eat breakfast, and you can build your business all day and not have to worry about building your brain, not have to worry about building your body. Why? Because you did it first thing in the morning and you got it over with. So if you're building your business, this is what you do first thing in the morning. Get the gym out of the way. Get the study out of the way so you don't have to think about it for the rest of the day. When you go to the gym at night, it's always on your mind all day. God, I gotta go to the gym at night. I gotta go to the gym at night. I can't go to dinner with these people. I can't do this, that, the other. I gotta go to the gym at night. You preempt that, you prevent that by simply going to the gym first thing in the morning. All right. So when you're building your business, first thing you do in the morning, go to the gym. All right. And at the gym, you can even build your brain at the gym. You can spend 30 minutes on the incline treadmill, reading a book, studying a book. You can spend 30 minutes to an hour on an incline treadmill, reading a book, taking notes directly on your phone. So that's the way you build your brain, body, and business, the triangle of greatness. You have time every single day to focus on all three. You just simply put more focus into one, whichever one it is you want to build. But always be building. And the triangle of greatness is the base of what we build. Mind, body, business. Can a man focus and work on multiple businesses? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. The same way you focus on mind, body, and business. Whatever business you are building or trying to build, you put the main focus into that one, and then you go do your work on the other one. So, for example, wake up in the morning, do your work on business A, get it out of the way. And then you've got all day to build business B. B stands for build, all right? So business A, get it out of the way, doing that work first thing in the morning. Then you've got the rest of the day to build business B. So yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can and you should build multiple businesses. You can and you should. I explain more of this in New World Ronin. How frequent is your use of Red Monkey, and how often can a person safely take it? Twice a week. Twice a week. Red Monkey has Phenibut in it, and Phenibut, if you take it more than twice a week, it starts to lose effectiveness. But I find that if I use it twice a week, I get carryover effects. So twice a week, and then you get carryover effects. You get the effects. You ever seen that movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper, where he takes his pill and becomes smart? He becomes a genius just by taking a pill. And while he's on this pill, he becomes so smart, he figures out a way to do it naturally. He figures out a way to do it naturally. So he doesn't need the pill anymore. At the end of the movie, he's a genius and he doesn't need the pill anymore. He doesn't need any medicine anymore. It's the same way with Red Monkey. It's the same way with anything. When you figure out the ability to do something by taking something like Red Monkey, eventually you'll figure out a way to do it naturally. So, Red Monkey twice a week, you'll get carryover effects. How does a growing Ronin go about finding and serving a bigger purpose, such as your forthcoming army of Ronin? Well, the army of the NWR is going to show you purpose. That's my mission in this world. My life purpose is to show you the way of purpose. And I'm not ready to reveal that to you yet, but I will. You come back here and you watch me every single day. You come back to boldendetermined.com every single day. I will give a place for the Ronin. I will bring the Ronin out from the cold. So you leave that up to me. You just come back here daily. With a business game plan already in action, would you recommend saving up a month or more of expenses before quitting a soul-crushing job, or simply quitting cold turkey and focusing 100% on business? I would suggest you have at least a month worth of money in your bank account. Absolutely. Because if you quit your job and you have rent due next week, what are you going to do? You're going to be evicted. So yes. Have at least a month worth of bill money saved up, and an obvious way that you can make money within that month. If you quit your job and you have a month worth of money and you have a business plan, but you don't have a way to turn that business plan into money, you're going to be broke. It would be a stupid thing to quit. So you need two things. You need money in the bank, and you need a way that you're sure is going to make money. You're sure is going to make money. This is assuming you have rent, car payment, this, that, and the other. If you don't have bills, go ahead and quit. If you don't have bills, go ahead and quit. But if you have bills that have to be paid, don't quit until you have at least a month worth of money saved up and your business has a verifiable way to generate cash. Amazing content on YouTube. Yo, I am a sound executioner, just letting you know. Words mean nothing, guy. Show me the sound that you have executed. Email me. There's a contact page on Bold and Determined. Email me the type of sound that you have executed. Words don't mean nothing, guy. Show me. boldendetermined.com/contact. Show me what sound you have executed. Next question. Best thing to do in downtime or free time? Go for a walk. Go for a walk around the city. You get so much more out of a walk through the city than you get from a car ride through a city. Now, a car ride outside of the city, out in the country, out between cities, is the best way to travel between cities. But in the city, walking is such a terrific way to see a city, to feel a city, to see the sights in the city. Because when walking, you don't have a car tethered to you. When you have a car tethered to you, you're not free to go do whatever you want to do. You're stuck to that car. You're always worried about that car. So when you're walking, you can do anything you want. You can go to any restaurant you want. You can go do anything you want. Anything you want, you can go do. You can just walk through the city and you can see the city. You can feel the energy of the city that you can't feel by driving. So go for a walk. All right, those questions were all on Instagram. Shout out to everybody who sent me great questions on Instagram. I'm going to answer questions from Twitter now. So give me just a moment to go through my phone. Okay. Here's a question from Twitter. Develop and perfect before publishing, or get content out and don't worry about perfection when starting out. When starting out, write, publish, repeat. Do not worry about perfection. You cannot perfect a turd. All right. You're not perfect until you have practiced perfection. When you're just starting out, you're never going to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect. You don't have the ability to be perfect, because practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. So when you just start out, you bang out the content. You don't worry about perfection, because it's impossible for you to get perfection. You cannot be perfect when you just start. Practice is what makes perfection. So when you just start, get the content out. Get the content out. Get your message out. Get it out. Let that fire out. Do not worry about perfection, because it is a myth. It is something you will never achieve, and it is something that's simply going to cause you to be inactive. Do not worry about perfection. Get the content out. Write, publish, repeat. If you can give only one advice for your New World Ronin soldiers to be the best, what is this advice? Follow the way of always moving forward. The central tenet of the New World Ronin, the way of always moving forward. If you follow the way of always moving forward, you will always be working towards something. Doesn't matter what the something is. You will always be moving forward. You will always be in motion. You will always be ready, prepared, with clarity of mind, peace of heart, and peace of spirit. If you follow the way of always moving forward. That's the number one piece of advice for the soldiers of the NWR. Follow the way of always moving forward. Do you still stay in touch with family? If not, why? I try. I try. It's difficult when you're a busy person to stay in touch with anybody. It is. If you're not in my immediate vicinity, it's very hard for me to stay in touch with you because I get a million emails a day. I get a million phone calls, text messages. I get a million pings on Twitter, a million pings on Instagram. A million people are trying to get a hold of me every single day. So if you're not in my immediate vicinity, it's very difficult for me to try and stay in touch with you. Now, I try, but I'm not making a phone call to family every day. All right. So I try, but it's difficult when you're in motion. It's difficult for people who are not in motion to catch you. That's the way it is. Have I ever followed the Wim Hof method? No, I haven't. You see, the success principles are always the same. So you hear me talking about breathing. You hear me talking about getting in cold water. Well, success principles are always the same. I've never followed the Wim Hof method simply because I found these things on my own. And then I noticed that Wim Hof has a great attitude and a great spirit. And like Wim Hof says, the cold is my teacher. Shout out to Japan. See you next time.